You own a used or pre-owned car? Then you're already losing battery life every day. A weak battery can fry an alternator, burn a starter, and leave you stranded at midnight. Over 7 million roadside breakdowns are caused by dead batteries. Most are totally preventable. Do this and your car battery will last 10 years. And don't miss the last tip. Most drivers do one simple thing every morning that secretly destroys their battery. Let's go. Secret number 15. Inspect and secure the battery mount. Loose batteries die fast. Vibration inside a battery is silent damage. It grinds down the lead plates until they crack, short, and fail. A brand new battery can die in under 6 months if it's shaking loose under the hood. That means money wasted for no reason. This is why the first thing I check on any used car is the battery mount. Pop the hood and grab the battery with both hands. Try to move it. If it shifts even a little, that is a problem. A battery should not slide, lean, or rattle. It must sit tight and level in the tray. Use the proper hold-down clamp and bolt. Tighten it with a socket until it is snug. Do not overdo it, or you will crack the case. If the tray is rusty, clean it. If it is bent, straighten it. A crooked tray twists the case over time. That stress kills cells. If you drive rough roads, add a rubber pad under the battery. It cuts vibration and keeps the case safe. Do not wedge your battery with wood, foam, or scrap metal. That is hack work. And yet, most people miss another killer that eats battery life even faster. Secret number 14. Use a smart trickle charger/maintainer. A parked car kills its own battery. Every car has small power draws even when it is off. Alarm system, clock, ECU memory. Over time, that slow drain drops voltage and sulfates the plates. That is how good batteries die while a car sits. I guess you have also seen it 1,000 times in used cars that sit for weeks between drives. The cure is a smart trickle charger, also called a battery maintainer. Do not confuse it with a dumb charger. A smart maintainer senses battery voltage and gives only the charge it needs. It will not overcharge. Brands like CTEK, NOCO, Battery Tender, and Schumacher have solid units. Clamp it on, red to positive, black to negative, and plug it into the wall. Set it for your battery type, then leave it. It keeps the battery at full health. If you park long-term, use a quick disconnect plug so you do not fight with clamps every time. Never hook a charger to a frozen battery or damaged cable. And do not use a cheap no-name unit that has no safety shutoff. A healthy float charge stops decay. But even a full battery can fail if the power cannot flow through dirty or damaged connections. Secret number 13. Replace corroded terminals and use dielectric grease. Corrosion steals power. That green and white crust on battery terminals is not just ugly. It raises resistance, chokes off current, and forces the battery and alternator to work harder. That extra strain cuts battery life by years. The American Automobile Association warns that most battery failures are actually just bad cable connections. In most cases, folks replace a good battery when all they needed was a proper terminal cleanup. First, safety, engine off, keys out. Wear gloves and eye protection. Always remove the negative cable first, then remove the positive. Use a wire brush or battery terminal cleaner to scrub the posts until they shine like new metal. Clean inside the cable clamps too. If a cable is cracked or loose, replace it. If the terminal is swollen or eaten by corrosion, replace it. Terminals are cheap. Bad power flow is not. You stopped corrosion, but there's one more connection problem that kills more batteries and starters than people realize, and most drivers never check it. I'm talking about the negative battery cable, also called the engine ground strap. A bad ground causes slow starts, dim lights, random warning lights, and dead batteries that seem mysterious. I did a full breakdown on the signs of a bad ground strap. The link is above. Watch it later, because bad grounds destroy charging systems from the inside out. Now that your cables are solid, let's kill the next silent battery killer. Secret number 12. Install a battery heat shield or insulator. Most people blame winter for dead batteries, but that is only half the truth. Hot weather cooks a battery from the inside. High underhood heat boils off electrolyte, warps plates, and dries out cells. Battery Council International warns that heat is the #1 cause of battery failure. If you live where summers get brutal, or if your car sits in the sun all day, you need to protect that battery. Pop the hood after a long drive and feel the air near the battery. If it feels like an oven, you have a heat problem. The fix is simple. Install a battery heat shield or wrap-style insulator. These are made from heat-resistant foam or fiberglass with foil. They lower the battery temperature by up to 20 degrees. That means years of extra life. You slip it around the battery and secure it. Some cars came with one from the factory. If yours is missing, replace it. Do not cover the top vents. Do not wrap the battery in plastic or rags. That traps heat and makes it worse. Use a real heat shield made for batteries. This one step helps, but it will not save you if you make the next common mistake. Secret number 11. Avoid short trips. Allow full recharge. 5-minute drives never let the alternator recharge what the starter used. Do that day after day, and the battery runs weaker and weaker. Low charge causes sulfation, which is a buildup of hardened lead sulfate crystals on the battery plates. It's like plaque in arteries. Once it forms, power flow gets blocked and the battery slowly suffocates. Capacity drops and cold starts get slow. Consumer Reports has warned about this for years. Here is the truth. Your alternator is not a charger. It is a maintainer. It keeps a full battery full. It does not bring a weak battery back to life during short runs. If your daily drive is only a few minutes, change your routine. Once or twice a week, take the car for a 20 to 30-minute drive. Highway speed is best. That gives the alternator time to bring voltage back up and burn off surface charge. If you cannot do long drives, use a smart charger once a week to top off the battery. Do not just hope short trips are fine. Hope is not a plan. Charge is life. And before we move to the next secret, quick question. Are you getting value from this? If yes, hit like and subscribe. I drop real mechanic-level advice every week that actually saves you money. Let's continue. Secret number 10. Eliminate parasitic drains and aftermarket vampire draws. A battery can drain dead while your car is off. That is a parasitic draw. Every car has a small draw for memory and alarms, but when it climbs too high, it becomes a power thief. Aftermarket junk is the main cause. Cheap dash cams, LED strips, Bluetooth boxes, and bad stereo installs are vampire loads. They suck power 24/7. I once had a customer go through 3 batteries in 8 months. The problem was not the battery, it was a tiny USB charger stuck in the cigarette socket pulling power all night. Here is how you check for a drain. Make sure everything is off. Close doors so interior lights go out. Remove the negative battery cable and connect a multimeter in series set to amps. A normal draw is under 50 milliamps. If you see more, start pulling fuses one by one. When the number drops, you found the bad circuit. Then remove or repair the problem device. If you are not sure how to do this, get a shop to run a parasitic draw test. It is worth it. Do not ignore drains. Jump-starting a dead battery over and over kills it. Test, fix, or remove the load. But even with no drain, you still do not know if your battery is truly strong until you do the next step. Secret number 9. Test battery health annually. Most people never test their battery until it fails. That is a mistake. A battery can look fine, start the car, and still be dying inside. Weak batteries strain the starter, stress the alternator, and leave you stuck when the weather changes. AAA says battery problems are the #1 cause of roadside calls in the country. Testing once a year prevents that mess. Here is how to do it right. First, test the resting voltage with a digital multimeter. Engine off. A healthy battery sits around 12.6 volts. Anything at 12.2 is already low. Under 12.0 means trouble, but voltage alone is not enough. You need a load test or a conductance test to see real health. Most auto parts stores will test it free, or buy a handheld battery tester. Set it for your battery's cold cranking amps rating, CCA. If it fails under load, replace it before it leaves you stranded. Check the date code on the battery while you are at it. If it is older than 5 years, watch it close. Store testing receipts so you know the trend. Testing keeps you ahead of failure. But the battery is only half the system. The thing that feeds it matters just as much. Secret number 8. Maintain proper alternator and voltage regulator. A bad alternator kills more batteries than age ever will. People blame the battery, but the real villain is wrong charging voltage. Too low and the battery never gets full. Too high and it gets cooked from the inside. I once saw a guy burn up 2 new batteries in 3 weeks. The alternator was pushing over 15.5 volts. That is a slow death by boiling. Test it the simple way. Grab a multimeter, start the engine, measure voltage across the battery posts. A healthy charging system shows about 13.8 to 14.6 volts. Lights on, a C on, idle up a little. If the voltage drops below 13.5, the alternator may be weak. If voltage rises over 15, the voltage regulator is bad, or the alternator is overcharging. Either one will wreck a battery. Do not guess. Check. Listen for whining or grinding from the alternator. Smell for a burnt belt. Look for loose wiring at the back of the alternator. Never ignore warning lights like ALT, GEN, or a battery light on the dash. That is not a bulb test. That is a cry for help. The charging system must be right, or nothing else you do will matter. And believe it or not, the next killer hides in plain sight right on top of the battery. Secret number 7. Keep the battery top clean and dry. I already said corrosion is bad, but this is different. Dust, oil, and road grime on top of the battery can hold moisture. When that happens, electricity can track across the dirt from one terminal to the other. That slow surface discharge drains a battery even when the car is off. I have seen batteries lose half a volt overnight just from a dirty case. Cleaning is easy. Engine off, gloves on. Mix a cup of warm water with a spoon of baking soda. Dip a small brush or rag in the mix and scrub the top of the battery case. Do not soak it. Wipe it clean. Dry it all the way with a clean towel. Blow off moisture if you have air. Keep the vent caps closed if your battery has them. You do not want water getting inside. Look for acid stains or cracked plastic. If you see damage, replace the battery. Acid on top is a sign of a leak. Do not spray engine degreaser on a battery. Do not blast it with a hose. That just pushes grime into spots you cannot reach. A clean battery holds charge better. But even the cleanest battery will not live long if you picked the wrong kind in the first place. Secret number 6. Choose the right battery chemistry for longevity. The wrong battery dies early no matter how clean your cables are. Not all batteries are the same. Cheap flooded starter batteries are fine for short life, but if you want long life in a used car, chemistry matters. Many folks grab the cheapest battery on the shelf and wonder why it fails in 2 years. Battery choice should match how you use the car. If your car is a daily driver, A quality flooded lead-acid battery from a trusted brand like ACDELCO, Bosch, or Exide is fine. But if your car sits, has a winch, upgraded sound, or heavy electronics, step up. Go AGM. AGM batteries resist vibration, handle deeper discharge, and recharge faster. They cost more, but they last longer. I have seen AGM batteries hit 8 to 10 years in real cars. Do not mix battery types with the wrong charging system. Some older alternators overcharge AGM batteries. Check your owner manual or underhood label. Match group size and CCA rating to what your car needs. Do not guess. Too small and the plates overwork. Too big and you strain the charging system. The right battery is your foundation. But once you pick it, you must treat it right or you will still kill it. The next thing people do is the fastest way to ruin a good battery. Secret number 5. Limit deep discharges and low charge. I said it before, and I will hammer it again. Low charge kills batteries. Deep discharge kills them faster. A lead-acid battery is not made to run down to empty like a phone. Every time voltage drops under 12.0, sulfation hardens on the plates. Let it drop under 11.5, and you just shaved months off its life. Do that often, and the battery will never hold a full charge again. If your car cranks slow, or you leave lights on by mistake, do not keep jump-starting it and driving away. That is the lazy way, and it destroys plates. Charge it back to full the right way with a smart charger. Keep your resting voltage around 12.6 and never let it sit weak. If your car has a power hog like an amp or winch, run the engine while using it. Never drain the battery dead if you want 10 years out of it. Deep discharge is abuse. But even a good flooded battery needs one thing most people forget. Secret number 4. Water flooded batteries with distilled water. Flooded batteries lose water over time. Heat and charging boil it off. When the plates are not covered, they dry, sulfate, and crack. That is slow death. I see this all the time in older cars, tractors, and trucks. Folks never check the water level, then wonder why the battery will not hold a charge. This only applies to serviceable flooded batteries with caps. If yours is sealed, skip this. For the rest of us, here is how to do it right. Gloves on, eye protection on. Acid burns skin. Twist or pry off the caps. Look inside each cell. The plates must be covered by liquid, but not overfilled. Only use distilled water, not tap water. Tap water has minerals that damage plates. Add small amounts with a plastic funnel or squeeze bottle until the water sits just below the fill ring. Do not spill. Wipe any acid off the case and charge the battery after adding water. Take care of the inside and it will last. But many people kill their battery from the outside. Secret number 3. Stop unnecessary electronics when engine off. This one is common sense, but people ignore it every day. A battery is not a power station, it is a starter. Its job is to crank the engine, not run your car like a living room. When you sit with the engine off, blasting the radio, charging phones, running fans, or watching movies on the dash screen, you are draining life from that battery. If the engine is off, shut down what you do not need. Kill the radio, unplug chargers, turn off dome lights, close doors so courtesy lights go out. If you need power for a long time, start the engine so the alternator carries the load, or use a jump pack or power bank instead of the battery. I have seen good batteries drained so low by just music that they never came back. Keep it simple. Battery for starting, alternator for power. Do not swap the jobs. Still, sometimes life happens and a battery gets drained hard anyway. When that happens, the next move decides if it lives or dies. Secret number 2. Use smart charger after deep discharge. A dead battery is not always a bad battery, but only if you save it the right way. When voltage drops low, crystals form on the plates. The longer it sits dead, the harder those crystals get. Jump starting and driving does not fix that. In fact, forcing the alternator to recharge a dead battery can burn out the alternator. That is an expensive mistake. Use a smart charger with a recovery or reconditioning mode. Clamp it on with the engine off. Red to positive, black to negative. Set it to the right battery type. Let it run a full charge cycle. Do not rush it. A real recovery charge takes hours. If voltage is under 10 volts, some chargers will not start. In that case, use a manual charger to wake it up, then switch to smart mode. That is how pros do it. A deep discharge is a warning. If it happens often, you have another problem coming. One more step keeps the battery alive for the long haul. Secret number 1. Keep battery cool and replace proactively. We already said it. Heat cooks batteries from the inside. A hot engine bay breaks down electrolyte, warps plates, and builds resistance. A battery that should last 10 years may die in 3 if it runs hot day after day. This is worse in tight engine bays and older cars with weak airflow. Keep the battery cool any way you can. Park in shade when possible. Avoid long idles in blazing weather. Make sure the engine bay has good airflow and the cooling system is healthy. If your car allows it, relocate the battery to the trunk with a proper kit. Cooler air means longer life. Do not run a battery to death. Replace it before it strands you. I replace at 6 to 7 years, even if it still starts fine. That is proactive maintenance, cheap insurance, and I keep a date label on every battery I install so I know its true age. Do this, and you stay ahead of failure. You can do everything right, charge correctly, avoid parasitic drain, maintain terminals, and still destroy your battery in seconds. It happens the moment you turn your key. The worst part? Almost every driver does this daily. Watch this next video below before you start your engine again.